That's why I keep it here.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
I wasn't ready for that. Shit. That's okay. Yeah, now we have to explain why my eyes are so fucking red. I'm a gangster. I'm still gangster. So all these tears don't mean nothing. I'm still a thug. So I'm still thugged out in here.
I sat down with these three very different men to discuss fatherhood, and this is what they said. Who were you at the time your first child was born?
Well, I never have had a first child born. I think I told you on the phone that I'm raising my niece, who, as far as I'm concerned, is my daughter as well. And I've had her for approximately 8 years. My niece was removed from her mother's home, and we got a call and just said, hey, this is your niece. Do you guys want to take her? Or she's, DHS type situation. It's like, absolutely no, bring her on over, no hesitation. She's with us now. We were unable to have children on our own, and we were planning on adopting. We had kind of started going through that process, and that, for whatever reason, a couple different reasons, just didn't quite work out like we anticipated. I mean, it wasn't just a month or two after that process, kind of that door shut, that we got the phone call that Sky needed a place to come. Her dad wasn't in the picture at the time, and unfortunately her mom passed away a couple years after that. So I don't know that I was that much of a different person when I got her than I am now, other than the fact that you're sharing your life with someone now and your priorities change. You're just worried about providing the best home you can for your child.
I was a broke sophomore in college when my first child was born. I knew what kind of father I was going to be before I was going to be a father. And I think that's why I would say I was ready, because I didn't grow up with a father, right? So I knew that, I always tell myself, I'm going to be what I didn't have. I'm always going to be what I didn't have. The day I found out I was going to be a father was very interesting. I was at work, and his mother called. And she's upset, she's crying, and she's like, oh, I'm pregnant. And I remember saying, okay, bet, yeah, let me, I'm gonna call you back though. I need to finish this. I gotta finish what I'm doing right now. I wasn't stressed. I didn't freak out. I didn't feel like, oh shit, I fucked up. I didn't do any of that. I was ready to be a father. I think trauma of not having a father, not having a guidance, not having someone say, okay, well, things should be done in a certain order, right? I didn't have that guidance to say, maybe you should wait to start a family, maybe you should wait to have a kid until like other boxes are checked. That's what I wasn't prepared for. But when it came to doing whatever it took to be a father, oh yeah, I was ready for that. It didn't matter.
As a 20-year-old sophomore in college, husband at the time, I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at the idea of being a father and oblivious to the idea of how hard this road was gonna be moving forward. So do I feel like I was ready? God, no. You're never ready, because this is an ever-evolving process, this thing called fatherhood, if you're really trying to do it correctly. I have all these regrets about some decisions that I made as a father. And despite the fact that I've learned so much, if I were to have more children, I'd probably make some new mistakes. The beauty in the fact that we're never ready is the fact that we will always have to lean on our Creator. We have to lean on something bigger than ourselves in order to get through this, because it is no small task to be the raising and hopefully creating a human being that is a great benefit and contributor to society.
What is something you've always wanted to tell your father, but haven't?
Can you tell me what that is?
Yeah, I can. I just wasn't ready for that question.
Let me grab you some tissue. I'll be right back.
It's okay, yeah.
This happens all the time.
Okay.
Don't worry. That's why I keep it here.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
I wasn't ready for that. Shit.
Just take a second.
Yeah. That's okay. Yeah, now we have to explain why my eyes are so fucking red. I really didn't get to have the relationship that I longed for with my biological father because he wasn't around. And although my stepfather was around, he couldn't give me what I needed as a father because he didn't have it from his father. And so I look at myself now as a father doing what I can to outrun the, I guess, deficiencies as a father that my stepfather, my biological father, had due to oftentimes no fault of their own. They couldn't give me what I needed. And I find myself longing for the relationship with them that I so wanted, but due to circumstances just couldn't get. Bio dad passed away. Before I could, I guess revitalize the relationship between us, we tried. He just didn't know how. What I'd tell Dad if I had the opportunity to talk to him now is say, hey, I forgive you. And in all of your shortcomings as a father, let me be the first person to tell you that everything about you was not bad. You didn't drop the ball on everything. And I think that is important for fathers to know, because we are oftentimes measured by our ability to provide. What do we give to the world, right? And if we miss the mark on certain things, there is this automatic labeling on us. If I could talk to my dad today, I tell him, yeah, man, you dropped the ball in so many places, but I forgive you, and I want to acknowledge and highlight the places where you did great things. I'm a G. I'm a gangster. I'm still gangster. So all these tears don't mean nothing. I'm still a thug. So I'm still thugged out in here.
I don't think there's anything that I want to tell him that I haven't, because we don't have any trouble. He always told us he loved us growing up, told us he was proud of us. He was extremely hard on us. When I say hard on us, in a good way. He had his rules. He was very strict. And as he's gotten older, he even has apologized. Sorry I was so tough on you guys growing up, and we're like, no, Dad, we appreciate all the butt whoopings and the groundings and all that stuff. We love you. We appreciate it. Your dad has told me he's proud of you.
Yes.
Many times.
He probably tells them everybody.
Yes, everybody. Yeah.
I don't know my father. I don't know him. I will say this though. You always have this idea, about who your father is, or how he's like. You in your mind is like, this piece of shit just said, hey, I'm out. Deuces type of thing. I went to go get some milk, and got lost on the way, yeah. I watched This Is Us, the very first season of that, right? The first episode where Sterling K. Brown's character, 30-some-year-old father of two, married, has a nucleus family, and he's like, he still has that itch. I want to meet my father. And he found him, and then, he did what, I think any dude that has never met their father or has a father that has not been involved, you want to do. You want to go to him like, hey, listen, I got these degrees, made all these successes in my life, and you wasn't there. I bumped my head a lot, but I did this in stride and I figured it out. So, fuck you, fuck you. You wasn't there for me. Forget you wasn't supporting me. And in that movie, it messed me up because he said, well, do you want to come in? And Sterling, without even thinking, he just walked right in, right? And it blew my mind, like, whoa, why did he do that? And I really dissected that moment. Like, everybody hasn't had a father. You still want it. You still crave it. And you've been searching for this, and now it's in front of you, and you're like, F you, I'm gonna walk away. But the reason that we act the way is because we assume that that person's gonna reject us in our face, right? So we're prepared for the rejection, because all we know is rejection. If I did meet my father and I'm like, hey, I'm your son, and he's like, either no, I'm like, oh, fuck you then, I guess I ain't your son. Or if he's like, well, yeah, I remember that, and let's, if he's willing to engage with me, if he's willing to know who I am and show me who he is, and whatever the dynamic of a relationship that he had with my mom that I have no idea about, he's willing to inform on a part of me that I don't know, then I'm not gonna reject that. I wouldn't reject it. I wanna feel whole, and I want my kids to feel whole, so.
Fill in the blank. I hope my children learn what from me?
Perseverance, because I think that's the biggest thing you need in life. You will get punched in the mouth. Like Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth, and it's real. And it's some things that, just from my own life, you can't predict what happens. I've known many people that have experienced things, and they got punched and it debilitated them. I want to prepare them for a life without me, that you just got to learn how to keep moving forward. Just keep pushing forward, so.
I've learned later in fatherhood that I think what's most important for my kids to understand and learn from me is that it is okay to make mistakes. I raised them under the mindset that mistakes were unacceptable. But if I'm being totally honest, let's keep it 100 right now, right? It really wasn't because I had this great standard that I wanted these kids to live by. It's because it was rooted in fear. I can't have you making mistakes because it may very well cost you your life. I don't want you to ever be in a place that I can't save you. My job is to not only lead my kids, it's also to protect them. And so I couldn't afford these kids making a mistake. If I'm real honest, I don't like being this honest. I'm being real vulnerable in front of a camera and all this, but I'm fearful for them making a mistake. And if I'm honest, it's really more so about fearful of me being able to fulfill the role that I believe I'm supposed to be holding. And if I can't protect my daughters, then how does that make me a man? How does that make me a man as especially an African-American man with African-American daughters? Ooh, geez, I hate this conversation I'm having with me. Ow, this hurts. But it's real, right? And hopefully somebody's getting something from this. Because even if you're not, I certainly am.
I hope my child learns what from me?
I hope she learns that I'm proud of her and I love her. I probably suck at that sometimes because, like I said, I'm really tough on her. You know, I expect your room to be clean all the time, your laundry to be done all the time, to be respectful to other people, to look me in the eyes when you're talking to me. You better have good grades in school. You better stay in line, not get in trouble. And I guess just little things that are probably, some of those are insignificant and probably don't mean a whole lot, but I just try and hold her accountable for everything she does. If she does something, she plays tennis, if she does anything like that, I just want her to put full effort into it, no matter what it is. But I just tell her that I love her. I try and constantly, once or twice a day, tell her I'm proud of her. Whenever you have an achievement, whenever she has an achievement like good grades, or which she constantly has, but those type of things in life, you try and point those out and make it a big deal and tell them how proud you are of them.
Fill in the blank. I hope my children don't learn what from me?
I hope she doesn't learn like quick to anger. Like I hope she doesn't get upset over things that aren't that important in life, probably.
Do you feel like you do that?
Oh, I do that, absolutely. You get to be set in your ways or want things done a certain way. OCD or particular about certain things. Like, I mean, it could be something as dumb as like the way you load the dishwasher or the way you sweep the floor. It's like my way is the right way to do it. And so that's some things where I have to just like bite my tongue and just say, okay, you're gonna do it your way. And we kind of have a joke back and forth where she says, I think I'm perfect, and I go along with it like I am perfect, and so that's why you're gonna do it this way. But I'm being sarcastic. I know I'm far from perfect. But I hope that she doesn't, she isn't quick to anger, and she can let some things slide that I probably don't as often as I should.
I'd say being a lone wolf. There's been a lot of individuals that I had in my life that could have helped me a lot earlier, like seeking help, and I'm just like a solo dude. Like I'm just thug it out. And it's a struggle. Like it's a struggle. You put yourself in some very tough situations, and it's like, hey, I know that who I got to depend on is me. And I go MIA. You won't hear from me for a while until I resolve whatever the struggle is. So I would say for them, don't do that, right? They have way too many resources around them to ever sit there and say to themselves, nah, I'm gonna thug it out. like they don't have to do that.
I mean, you sound like every parent, which is that I struggle so that my kids don't have to.
Bingo.
So basically, if they need help, you want them to ask for it and let them know that they're not starting from ground zero like you did.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Yeah. That's the only try I can think of right now. If you ask them, they'll say, man, this dude thinks he's always right. And my idea is just like, I have a logic. If you prove my logic flawed, then I'll go with yours. But until then, I'm gonna think mine's the proof.
I know that's right.
So I would hope that they learn from me now Ignore that old stuff, at least that part of your dad, that old part of your daddy that kind of operated in fear. Learn from me now. Do not live in fear. Live in precaution. That's smart. Fear is inhibiting. It is debilitating. And it creates an amount of stress on yourself that is unnecessary. It is okay to make mistakes and to not fear the entirety of your life because you don't want to make a mistake.
What was the last intentional decision you made to be a better father?
I recognized that as a dad, while they were growing up, that I was trying to just, hey, I need you to live by the standard because I want the best thing for you. I don't want you to be protected and all those things. And that's all great and good, but I was very much like, I am the parent, you are the child. Do as I say. Failing to recognize that that creature that's sitting across from you is a few steps shy of a woman at 15 years old. So, sir, if you wouldn't talk to a woman like that you're trying to date or get closer to know her better, to get inside of her world, she'll let you in so you can be a part of her world. Sir, why do you think that type of method would work with somebody who just so happens to have your last name because she's your daughter and she's under the age of 18? Affirm her. Listen to her. Even if it's like, I'm listening to you. Answer still no. But sis, you got some good points. I can tell you firsthand, it has yielded amazing results. Is it perfect? No. But I'm getting through this with lots of prayer and guidance from other fathers in the community that we need to lean on each other.
Probably not enough, but the last intentional decision would be to spend more time one-on-one with her. We went fishing the other night, for example. I took her to the mall Saturday or Sunday. I think doing things like that are really important. Sometimes we get busy in life. I'm the world's worst at this. I have a very busy schedule, so I have to really be intentional about spending time with her. All the stuff the kids like to, TikTok and the Snapchat and all this stuff that I don't know anything about, but these things are important to her. So you got to try and learn more about that stuff and talk to her about that kind of stuff, which I'm not really into, but she likes it. So,
man, I'm actually going through it right now. Honestly, if I was to be honest with it, it's been going on for the last 2 years of me figuring out how to be a father to a teenager. You're always gonna have that kid, maybe one, maybe two, or maybe all your kids are like this, but you're gonna have that one that's like really embodies your personality, and it's like just thrown back in your face, and you don't like that. You don't like it at all. And my fear is that I need to tailor my approach a certain way. It's a balance of like recognizing that they are young adults now, so you can't be thoroughly overbearing. It's the early stage of you working as an advisor more than a parent, and that's freaking hard. Cause it's like, damn, man, you see the damn pothole in the street and he's just gonna walk right into the damn thing, and you wanna like guide them away from it, but it's like, maybe you need to fall in there. But then it sucks because then they don't even give a damn when they do fall in it. So it's like, okay, now, how do you go about this, right? I don't want him to feel like he can't come to me. So I think for me, it's taking time to try to evaluate my approach so not to shut a door or destroy a door. Like, I think that's the biggest thing. I don't want to close off avenues of communication for him. I try to tailor my approach to be more soft-handed to a certain degree, but also very intentional about like what you're about to face. I'm in this process, so it's still like if this was a like 50-50 hindsight would be way more transparent, but it's like I'm still going through this right now with this kid, man. So let's do this next year as well, and I'll let you know the updates to this. It's to be continued question, because man, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Woo, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
all right, I'm done.
You are good. So I'm going to have you pick up the transcript.